This is DieCast Street League. Welcome back. This is DieCast Street League. We are here in Rock City. It is a beautiful 81-degree day. It's a great day for racing.
Yes, it is.
We have an A-class battle for you today.
Well, bring it on, bud. I've been waiting all week for some race.
Okay, Roy, well, let's get to these drivers and cars. 1969 Chevy Chevelle SS.
Greg can drive.
The driver of that car is Greg from Team Rock City.
This car is proven to be fast. 930 horsepower.
2018 Chevy Camaro SS.
Whose car is this?
The driver of that car is Keith Smith from Team Rock City.
He got a new car?
Yeah, Roy, looks like it.
875 horsepower.
1970 Dodge Charger.
This car's fast.
The driver of that car is James Ironbeard from Team's Ironbeard Custom.
This is my pick to win it all. I love Mopars. 1,000 horsepower.
1985 Ford Mustang SVO.
This is my sensei.
The driver of that car is Karate Joe from Teams Puffs Racing.
We need to hang out after this. 830 horsepower. I love saying horsepower.
There you have it. Those are the cars and drivers that will be putting it all on the line for your viewing pleasure. We going the best out of 8 races wins. First place gets 3 points, second place gets 2. Third place will get 1 point.
There are no points for just crossing the line, so you better work with your food if you want to eat. Let's go!
Keith Smith has the lead going down the first long straight. James Ironbeard is trying to close but cannot get it done. Just got passed up by Greg. No, he passed Greg right back up, and then Karate Joe passed Greg up for the third place position. Oh my goodness. Can Keith Smith hold off James Ironbeard? Yes. Keith Smith will take first place. James Ironbeard will take second. Karate Joe will take third. What a race.
Hot dang, bud. They was going at it like a couple of crawfish fighting over a saltine cracker. Bud, they was getting after it.
Yeah, Roy, that was a highly entertaining race right there.
Yes, it was.
Let's check out the replay.
I'm waiting on your slow butt.
Right here, Keith Smith had the first place position. James Ironbeard was trying to make a run for it, but got passed up by Greg. Greg hit them both with the double pass. Him and Karate Joe going into that second turn.
Yeah, bud, but he didn't have a second place position for long. James Ironbeard passed him up like a hitchhiker in the rain. Right there, bud.
Yeah, Roy, Greg had to lead for a quick second coming out of that second turn, but got passed up right here over the bridge by James Ironbeard. And then Karate Joe passed up Greg going into that third turn for the third place position.
Meanwhile, Keith Smith is out in front with a 2.5 car lead. He got squirrely after the jump. James Ironbeard bumped the back of that Camaro, but James did not spin him out somehow. Boom! He even jumped the curb a little bit. How did he not spin out, bud?
Yeah, Roy, Keith Smith is in a new car, so I'm assuming that is the first time he has jumped that car.
I'm guessing this is a lot of people's first time jumping cars when they come here.
That is true, Roy. Right here, Keith Smith had a 3-car lead going into the S-curves, but here comes James Ironbeard with that 1,000 horsepower Charger.
Keith Smith was holding his own on this straightaway, bud.
Yeah, Roy, that Camaro was no slouch on the big end, but James Ironbeard car is a little faster. That's just facts. Keith Smith and the Camaro won that race.
He had a 13.28 time. That was almost 12 seconds. That's a good time.
Greg and the Chevelle has 0. Karate Joe and the SVO has 1. Keith Smith and the Camaro has 3. And James Ironbeard and the Charger has 2. Race 2 about to go down right now.
We got Karate Joe lining up against James Ironbeard. Should be a good race.
Yeah, Roy, both cars are fast. Let's see what they got. Let's go! Karate Joe has the first place position. James Ironbeard is in second, got passed up by Greg. No, James Ironbeard got the second place and got the first place, but then Karate Joe got the first place away from James Ironbeard. Karate Joe has about a 6-7 car lead, and he would take first place. James Ironbeard would take second. Keith Smith would take third. What a race.
But they was going at it like a couple of hobos fighting over a McChicken sandwich from Mickey D's. They were doing battle.
Yeah, Roy, these first 2 laps have been great.
Entertaining with a capital I.
It sure is, Roy. All 4 drivers are flying down this road.
I need to go to this shop right here and get some headers put on my Viper.
Roy, Greg never crossed the line.
Dang, looks like Greg over there doing a handstand next to that tree in his car.
I hope the cameraman picked up what happened.
I wouldn't hold my breath waiting to see it.
Well, right here you see Karate Joe had the first place position. James Ironbeard was in second place and he got passed up by Greg right there on the outside lane for the second place position. And got right to Karate Joe's door, tied him up. They were neck and neck. No one had first place, but then right here, Karate Joe got the first place away from James Ironbeard going into that 3rd turn, right there.
And Greg and Keith Smith were doing battle in that 3rd turn. No one had the 3rd place position they were doing battle for. But right there, Greg took the inside lane on Keith Smith.
Yeah, Roy, they were going at it coming out of that 3rd turn right there. Keith Smith cut Greg off and Greg wrecked right there by that tree, upside down, mind you.
Yeah, even though they raced for the same team, Keith Smith did not give a hoot. He cut Greg off and Greg was upside down doing a Pilates move next to that tree.
And Karate Joe had a 6 or 7 car lead coming out of the S-curve. James Ironbeard closed the gap, but could not get there. Karate Joe and the SVO won that race.
If you score a low 13-second time, you got a fast car.
Greg and the Chevelle has 0. Karate Joe and the SVO has 4. Keith Smith and the Camaro has 4. And James Ironbeard and the Charger has 4 as well.
Dang, a 4-way tie?
Race 3 about to go down right now.
We got Karate Joe going against Greg in the front row. Greg needs some points bad.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for him to win if he doesn't score here.
Sure is.
Let's go! Karate Joe has the lead going down the first long straight. James Ironbeard is trying to take the second place away from Greg and did so, but Greg took the second place right back from James Ironbeard. Oh my God, Karate Joe spun out and then Greg got around him with no trouble. Can James Ironbeard close on Greg? No. Greg would take first place, James Ironbeard would take second, Keith Smith would take 3rd. What a race.
Hot dang, bud. I thought Greg was dead in the water. If he didn't score any points on this one, he was done.
Yeah, Roy, Greg got all the way in 3rd place. I thought he was done for too. He needed these points desperately.
Sure did.
Right here, Karate Joe had the first place position. James Ironbeard made the move on Greg for the second place position. He got it from Greg, but then Greg got it back going over the bridge. He took the second place back from James Ironbeard right there.
Yeah, bud, this is the 3rd lap and Greg had 0 points. He was fighting tooth and nail to get that second place position away from James Ironbeard and did so.
He sure did. He sure did. And right here, Karate Joe got squirrely after the jump spun out, did a 180. Greg and James and Keith all got around him with no problems.
Yeah, all 3 passed him up like he was a hitchhiker in the rain with his thumb up and a skunk and one of them baby carriers on his chest. Don't pick him up. He might kill you and he stinks.
James Ironbeard got squirrely after putting too much power down, broke the wheels loose, and almost lost his second place.
I just had to see this again, how all 3 drivers got around Karate Joe without touching him. Man, they can drive.
Yeah, right there you see James Ironbeard tires get loose. He had a lot of power and he used it too quick and almost got passed up for the second place position by Keith Smith.
Yeah, but when you pushing 1,000 horsepower, it will get loose on you, even on the big engine.
Greg and the Chevelle won that race.
He sure did. It was an entertaining race with a capital I. He got a 13-4-1 time.
Greg and the Chevelle has 3, Karate Joe and the SVO has 4, Keith Smith and the Camaro has 5, and James Ironbeard and the Charger has 6.
Greg need a first place victory just to tie. Keith Smith can win if he gets second place. And Karate Joe needs 3 points to win it all.
Yeah, Roy, everybody is still in this race, even Greg. Let's go! Greg has the lead going down the first long straight. Karate Joe just passed up Keith Smith for the second place position. Karate Joe is all on Greg's bumper. He has no air to breathe. Oh my goodness, he bumped him right there going into the S-curve, but Greg kept the Chevelle straight. Can he get around Greg? No. Oh, James
Greg would take first place.
Karate Joe would take second. James Ironbeard would take third. What a race.
Hot dang, bud, that was a good one right there.
Yeah, Roy, let's check out this replay. Right here, Greg had the first place position. Karate Joe passed up Keith Smith for the second place position. Keith Smith was getting harassed by Karate Joe.
Karate Joe was all on Greg's bumper like he had to use the bathroom real bad after a bunch of chili dogs with a whole bunch of beans in it. And you in his way, he gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah, Roy, Karate Joe was all on Greg's bumper, bumped him right there going into the S-curves, tried to get in the inside lane, but Greg cut him off, bumped him again right there coming out of the S-curves, bumped him once more trying to get around him on the inside lane. Greg cut him off.
Man, Greg was playing defense like the Chicago Bears in the heyday.
And right there, James Ironbeard took the inside lane, tried to get the third place point on Keith Smith.
Man, Karate Joe was being physical with Greg trying to get around that joker. Right there, James Ironbeard almost got Keith Smith if he had a little more room.
Greg and the Chevelle won that race.
He sure did and got a 13, 18 time. All these times been respectable.
Keith Smith and the Chevelle has 6. Karate Joe and the SVO has 6. Keith Smith and the Camaro has 6. And James Ironbeard and the Charger has 6.
Hot dang, a 4-way tie. That has never happened in DieCast Street League history, or any DieCast history, or any racing probably.
Yeah, Roy, it was gonna be the 2-for-1 special, but after this, we gonna keep them running.
This is the most competitive race I've ever seen.
Me too, Roy. Let's go! Keith Smith has the lead going down the first long straight. Greg just passed up James Ironbeard for the second place position. Oh, Keith Smith took off with about a 6 to 7 car lead over the jump. Oh, Greg closed the gap and then bumped Keith Smith going into the S-curves. Can he get around Keith Smith? Oh my God, he took the inside lane and got around Keith Smith right at the line. After Keith Smith had a 6 or 7 car lead, Greg came back and won it.
But they were doing battle like a couple of bald eagles fighting over a toupee.
Greg took first place, Keith Smith took second, James Ironbeard took third. What a race.
But this is turning out to be one of the best race series I've ever seen with my 2 eyeballs.
Yeah, Roy, this is at the top of my list and we still got more racing to go. Let's check out this replay.
Well, let's do it, bud.
Keith Smith had the first place position right here. Greg passed up James Ironbeard for the second place position. Greg was all on Keith Smith's bumper right there, but then Keith Smith took off with about a 7-car lead, make it 6 going into that third turn.
I was wondering how Keith Smith had such a big lead coming out of that second turn. Over the jump, he had at least a 7-car lead. I didn't think anybody was gonna catch up to him. It didn't look like he spun out or nothing.
Yeah, Roy, it didn't look like Keith Smith spun out. I don't know how the other drivers caught up to him so fast. At all, he got a little squirrely after the jump. It wasn't much, but these two took the jump perfectly. That's how they caught up to Keith Smith.
That's all it takes going down this road for you to slip up, and the other drivers behind you did not slip up. They took a perfect jump and came down perfectly. Right there, bumped Keith Smith to let Keith Smith know he means business, took the inside lane, got the pass right there at the line on Buddy.
Yeah, Roy, it's been a lot of overtakes in this race series.
That is facts. It's been a lot of overtakes. The time's been nice. These cars been flying coming down this road. It's getting physical.
And right here, Greg took the inside lane on Keith Smith and got the pass right at the line for the first place position.
Folks, Greg had 0 points going into the third lap, and now he's leading.
Greg and the Chevelle won that race.
He sure did and got a 13, 8, 9 time.
Greg and the Chevelle has 9, Karate Joe and the SVO has 6, Keith Smith and the Camaro has 8, and James Ironbeard and the Charger has 6.
Okay.
Race 6 about to go down right now.
Mathematically, everybody is still in the hunt for this race to win it all. And James Ironbeard and Karate Joe are in the front row about to do battle, bud.
Let's go! James Ironbeard has the lead going down the first long straight. Keith Smith is trying to pass Karate Joe and did so. And then Karate Joe got the second place and the first place away from James Ironbeard, but James Ironbeard got the first place back. James Ironbeard will take a solo shot to the finish line. He will take first place. Karate Joe will take second. Keith Smith will take third. What a race.
But that was another highly competitive race. Man, this race series is going crazy.
Yeah, Roy, this might be the best race series we ever put on. At least top 3.
I would say it's the best ever. You got good times, a lot of passing, 4-way tie, it's getting physical, and cars are flying and all the cars are coming to the line finishing pretty much. What more can you ask for?
Yeah, Roy, you are right. Right here, James Ironbeard had the first place position. Keith Smith passed up Karate Joe for the second place, but then Karate Joe passed up Keith Smith and James Ironbeard for the second place and the first place position.
Yeah, bud, Keith Smith passed up Karate Joe, but right here over the bridge, Karate Joe got his revenge and passed up Keith Smith and James Ironbeard. But then James Ironbeard got the first place back from Karate Joe coming out of that third turn. Right there, you looking at it, bud.
Yeah, James Ironbeard came out of that scuffle the victor. He got the first place position and Karate Joe was trying to get it back. Right here, you see he got the double pass on both of these guys, but then James Ironbeard got the pass back on Karate Joe. He got his revenge, like Roy said.
Yeah, bud, they was all grouped up like my cousin Paul Teach, but then James Ironbeard came up out of that joint, didn't he?
Yes, he did, Roy. He had about a 7-car lead, solo shot to the finish line.
I'm hungry. I'm going to get some corn dogs.
James Ironbeard in the Charger won that race.
I told y'all all these times been good. James Ironbeard put a 12-9-8 up.
Greg in the Chevelle has 9. Karate Joe in the SVO has 8. Keith Smith in the Camaro has 9, and James Ironbeard in the Charger has 10.
It's race 7 and everybody can still win this race series?
Yeah, Roy, this is the closest race series I've ever seen.
You all right, bud. It's lap 7 and the lowest person is 2 points away from first place. Incredible.
That is nuts, Roy. Let's go! Karate Joe has the lead going down the first long straight. Greg is in second. James and Keith are battling for third. Oh, James tried to take the second place away from Greg, but couldn't get it done. Karate Joe had a 4-car lead going into the 4th turn, but Greg caught him trying to catch him right here. He took the inside lane, but got blocked by Karate Joe. Karate Joe will hold on to the first place position. Greg will take second. James Ironbeard will take third. What a race.
Hot dang, bud, that was another good race. It was competitive and everybody was trying to get them points from the driver in front of them.
Yeah, Roy, right here, Karate Joe had the first place position. James Ironbeard and Keith Smith was battling it out for the 3rd place position. James tried to take the 2nd place away from Greg, but Greg edged him out barely and got the 2nd place position.
Meanwhile, Karate Joe had a 6-car lead over the jump. I think it was more like 7. But then Greg closed the gap, bumped Karate Joe going into the S-curves.
But then Karate Joe had about a 4-car lead. Greg was closing the gap, tried to get around him, but could not get it done. Karate Joe won that race in the SVO.
He sure did when he had a 13.81 time.
Greg in the Chevelle has 11. Karate Joe in the SVO has 13. Keith Smith in the Camaro has 9. And James Ironbeard in the Charger has 11. Race 8, the last one, about to go down right now.
Greg and James Ironbeard both need 3 points to win this whole thing and hope Karate Joe scores no points.
Yeah, Roy, should be a good finish. Let's go! Greg has the lead going down the first long straight. Karate Joe just passed up Keith Smith for the 2nd place position. Keith Smith is getting harassed by Karate Joe. Karate Joe needs to close the gap. Oh, he spun out, and then Keith Smith got around him for the 2nd place position. Greg would take first place, Keith Smith would take second. DNF for James Ironbeard and DNF for Karate Joe. What a turn of events.
But Karate Joe just needed to stay in 2nd place and he would have won it all.
Yeah, Roy, if you ever wanted to win a race series, this is the one to win.
Correct.
Right here, Greg had the 1st place position. Karate Joe passed up Keith Smith for the 2nd place position. He was all on Greg's bumper. He had no air to breathe.
Bud, that sounds like the title to a love song, but right here was no love given. Karate Joe tried to spin Greg out right here going into that third turn, but Greg ended up taking off with a 5 or 6 car lead.
Yeah, he had the first place on lock. All he had to do was finish, and all Karate Joe had to do was finish in second place. He would have won this whole race series.
Yeah, Bud, that is not the first time Karate Joe had problems after that jump.
Yeah, Roy, you can be fast and you can take these corners, but you also have to take that jump. And
yeah, you gotta take that jump. That's half the battle, Bud.
Greg and that Chevelle won that race.
He sure did win and had a 13.68 time.
Greg and the Chevelle has 14. Karate Joe and the SVO has 13. Keith Smith and the Camaro has 11. And James Ironbeard and the Charger has 11 as well. Greg and the Chevelle won this race event. He took first place. He's been running like a champ all day long. Congrats to him.
Congrats. It's been one of the best race days ever. So competitive and close.
Yeah, Roy. Thanks for watching DieCast Street League. Please like, subscribe, share, comment.
It is free. Let's go.